Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Anbiya wal Mursaleen. This is Mujib Qazi, and you're watching Washington Roundtable on the TV, Voice of Kashmir. Our topic is to have a point of view across the ceasefire. As you all know, the conflict between India and Pakistan, Kashmir, has been going on for close to 100 years. Comes 1947 and partition takes place. India captures 55% of the territory. Pakistan has 35%. 20% uninhabited region known as Aksai Chin stays with China. The conflict has been going on close to 100 years. We have lost about 100,000 indigenous people who have fought for the struggle to have the freedom and have their own country. But there is a perception and there is a reality. And today we are going to talk about what people think would be a doable solution across the ceasefire line that was established in 1947. I am joined by a very accomplished panelist today. Our first panelist is a former Chief Justice of Azad Kashmir Supreme Court. He has served on High Court, has served as Vice Chancellor for Azad Kashmir University, and has been a Chief Election Commission as well. Such an accomplished personality, and I'm very honored to have him on our show. That is Justice Manzoor Gilani Sahab. Gilani Sahab, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ji. Welcome. Thank you.
And we have our Salim Nanaji, who is an industrialist, joining us from Srinagar, giving us the update from the ground zero, where all the atrocities and tragedy is happening. I'm very thrilled and honored to have him on the show. Nanaji, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'm going to pose a very first question that, there's a perception out there in the public. The people think that the only doable solution is for Kashmir is to accede with Pakistan. Because the argument is made that in 1947, when the British India was being given the independence, had over 565, states. Three of whom were princely run states, Kashmir being the one Muslim majority state run by non-Muslim. By default should have gone to Pakistan. But down the road, we saw the independence of Kashmir movement started, and that has gained some momentum. I'm going to ask my panelists, Justice Saab will be speaking in the favor of acceding with Pakistan, and Salim Nanaji will be speaking for independence of Kashmir. The first question is, Pakistan has its own dimensions. Pakistan has its own concerns. Pakistan is facing its own economical challenges, and its own war against terrorism has been going on for about 22 years next door in Afghanistan, has so much on the plate for Pakistan. How can Pakistan handle Kashmir issue? So why don't you just let it go as an independent state? Justice Saab, over to you.
Thank you very much. I would first of all place on record that I am not for accession to Pakistan. I am for ground realities, solution based on the ground realities. It may be independent Kashmir, it may be Pakistan or India, whatever it is, because all the three options are available, are being pursued by the people of the state of Jammu and Kashmir around the under the control of India and Pakistan. So I believe in the ground realities and the solution based on the ground realities. This is number one. Number two is that as a student of law, I believe in the supremacy of law and the resolution of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, dispute of state of Jammu and Kashmir in regard with the provisions of the law. The India and Pakistan are created under the statute that is called the Independence Act of 1947. And the princely states and other Indian territories, they had to accede either to India or Pakistan. So this is basically the legal question. It is a lawfare. It is not the something which has to be digged out otherwise. Number three is that there is a perception that Qaeda-Azam had said sometime that the states are free to accede either to India or Pakistan or to remain independent. It is generally said. My perception is a bit different. My perception is that what Qaed said, it was that the principal states are free to exceed, free to the extent of acceding to India or Pakistan. They have the time to think of acceding either to India or Pakistan, not that they can remain free. This is what I understand from the provisions of the law, because only two options were given: India or Pakistan. Secondly, when the matter went to the United Nations Security Council, they also decided likewise that it can accede either to India or Pakistan on the basis of the plebiscite to be held in the entire state of Jammu and Kashmir. Now that about 75 years have elapsed, new realities have emerged, new ground realities have emerged. The parts of the state under the control of India and Pakistan, they have gone, there is a tremendous change in the thinking of the people. In the Jammu region, except the Pir Panjal and Chenab Valley, they are a bit docile, I can say. Of course, their sentiments, I understand. I have visited the places in right from 2005 to 2017. I know their sentiments, but still, they are a part of the Jammu. So the predominant majority in the Jammu, rather not predominant, but the prevailing majority of the Jammu, they are for India. The Gilgit-Baltistan, not only predominant, but the whole dominated area is for, Jammu is for India. The Gilgit-Baltistan is for Pakistan. AJK is about 98% for Pakistan. The valley, the Ladakh is, of course, for India. As far as the valley is concerned, it is divided in between India and India, in between Pakistan and independent Kashmir. Of course, I believe that the most of the people, I can't say predominant, but most of the people in the valley say about 45% they may be for independent Kashmir because of the ground realities, and the rest are for Pakistan. And of course, there are a few voices for India as well, but those are negligible voices because they cannot control, despite the Indian support, they cannot control the turmoil in the valley of Kashmir. So dispute at the moment is the valley of Kashmir. So that is the ground reality that has to be resolved. It may be independent or it may be Pakistan, whatever it is the will of the people of the valley of the Kashmir, where they want to accede, whether they want to accede to India or Pakistan, or they want to remain independent. But the prima facie fact is that they are not for India. They are either for Pakistan or for independent Kashmir. Now it rests with them only what they decide. This is my perception about that.
So I'm going to switch over to Salim Ranaji. Salim Saab, if you look at the analysis that the Justice Saab has presented, 98% of AJK, 100% of Gilgit-Baltistan, leaving aside Ladakh, overwhelming majority in Jammu with India, and the conflict, the real conflict resides in Srinagar, the valley, where 25% of the people are willing to go for independence. So why are you claiming for independent Kashmir? Why don't you just let it go with the wind is moving towards with Pakistan? Because we have seen people, whoever dies and received martyrdom in India, in Indian held Kashmir, they wrap around their dead body in the flag of Pakistan. So that means that is a signal that they want to be with Pakistan. Why don't you let it go as an independent or as an acceding state with Pakistan?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, I just want to say we were not part of the British India. Kashmir was the independent when there was a dispute between India and the Britishers. Kashmir was free, Kashmir was independent, number one. Number two, as far as the Azad Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan is concerned, I don't think there is any survey which can say how much percentage is there for the independent Kashmir or for the Pakistan. As far as the Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, this part of the Kashmir is concerned, there are so many surveys, there are so many, it has been done by the Europeans, by the Indians. There are majority of the people, they just want to be the independent because we have our own history. we have a culture that is very different from the Pakistan, as well as there is no resemblance with the India. So this is the cracks that the valley, as far as the valley is concerned, I will say, because I cannot judge and I cannot say about the Gilgit Baltistan or the POK unless and until there is some sort of you can say uh, very, you can say, the neutral organization can see what is the ground reality, what people just want there. Either they want to be the Pakistan, or they want to be an independent Kashmir. Till then, as far as the Jammu Kashmir is concerned, this part of the Jammu Kashmir is concerned, so people, majority of the people, there are so many surveys which is witness to it, that the people of the Kashmir want the independent Kashmir. This is that is why that we don't want to be uh, with the India or the Pakistan, because they have their own culture, they have their own identity. We don't want to be you can say the second number of the citizens of the India or of the Pakistan. This is this is our opinion as far as the independent Kashmir is concerned. Rest that, as far as the resolutions are concerned, uh, in 47, in 48, there was a resolution which is unfettered right of self-determination. There was so many resolutions which is fettered resolutions. We don't believe on those resolutions. As far as the right of self-determination is concerned, we will go through by the Charter of the United Nations. There is no limitation. You can't bind the people that you have to choose either with the India or the Pakistan when you was not the part of the India or the Pakistan. So we were the independent. We have a 5,000 years old history. So we want to revive that, because we were occupied by the India as well as by the Pakistan by force, because we have not given the chance to choose between the two. It was unfortunate after 2022 October 1947. We were occupied by the force. Until then, from last 74 years, and we are pleading that first of all there should be a withdrawal of the forces. There should be a consensus between India and Pakistan, as well as the Kashmiri community. Either there should be a tripartite talks, or Kashmiri should be a given. When I say Kashmir, I mean entire Jammu Kashmir, which is the Gilgit Baltistan, POK, Jammu region, Pir Panjal, and the valley. So we should be given the right to choose our destiny, right to choose our future.
Justice Saab, I'm going to switch it to you and ask you this question. I'm going to be an advocate for Salim Saab for a minute. The question is that, India becoming
Basically, this is we
India has
Kashmiris
become
has not given the right to choose. Unless and
India
until
has
we will not give has been given the opportunity to choose, till then there will be so many opinions, there will be so many thoughts, because in occupation there are tremendous pressures, and there are tremendous, you can say, some sort of the corruptions there. Sometimes you will find the people, they have not they cannot be the fully sure what they want, because there can be some sort of the pressure, then some sort of the uh, you can say that even though threat can be involved. So unless and until we will be given the sincere and the free atmosphere to choose, then the people of entire Jammu and Kashmir can decide their future, and world will know what exactly the entire Jammu and Kashmir, the people of the entire Jammu and Kashmir, what they want.
Justice Saab, I'm going to come to you and ask you this question, just for the sake of argument. Uh, India has become a huge economy and a place of attraction for the world. And Pakistan has not been able to reach that level yet. So the conflict that has been between India and Pakistan as a territorial conflict, it's not getting anywhere, because oftentimes what happens is Pakistan and India does not talk. They don't talk to each other. And if you look at the U.S. policy, their policy is that it's a disputed territory, but it's a matter between India and Pakistan. So let them decide. They don't come to terms. They don't talk about it. So that it seems like that the issue has gone in the back burner. My question would be that if India and Pakistan is not talking, so the only third option left is to let them have a independent state. So India and Pakistan both stay out of it. What do you have to say on that?
Okay, I would first of all attend an argument by my brother that it is a state whole as a state. I agree, it was a state as a whole. It came into existence in 1886. There was no state of Jammu and Kashmir before 16th of March 1846. It for the first time came into being after the Treaty of Amritsar was signed. So there was only Kashmir, not Jammu and Kashmir. Secondly, there is, as far as the history goes, there has never been any cohesion between the Valley of Kashmir, between the Ladakhi people, between the Gilgit-Baltistan, and between the Jammu people. They have never been in cohesion with each other. And this dispute has been since the Jammu Dogra took over the valley, and that too after serious fight with the local ruler of the state. So Valley has its own identity. Valley has its own history. Valley has a history of 5,000 years. So it is Kashmir. Rest is not Kashmir. Rest is either Jammu. It is either Gilgit-Baltistan or Ladakh. What do you say? Up to Taqsim ke baad ye ho gaya hai. So this is like that. Azad Kashmir is not a geographical entity as such. These are the scattered parts joined together from Jammu and the Valley of Kashmir, rather the province of Kashmir, not the Valley of Kashmir, because Muzaffarabad district alone was the territory which was suburb of the Valley of Kashmir, but not the Valley of Kashmir itself. It was a part of the province of Kashmir. So there was no cohesion between all the three regions of the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Number two, it has never remained independent. Never, ever has remained independent. It has retained the name of Kashmir, but has not remained independent. Because you see the history, see the Mughals, see the Sikhs, see the Dogras, see the Shamiris, and see all other people. They were all outsiders. They were not from Valley. So it has never remained independent. Now you come to the period when the Britishers left the state after passing Independence Act. At that moment, even the valley was the state of Jammu and Kashmir under the control of the resident of the Britishers employed in the Srinagar. So much so that even a chief engineer, or rather even a superintending engineer, or any person equal to the rank of the deputy commissioner could be appointed without the approval of the resident of the Britishers appointed in the Srinagar. So it has never remained independent. And as far as the constitution is concerned, the defense, foreign affairs, and communication was with the British, not in the sovereignty of the ruler of the state. And the rest of the matters were under the control of the resident of the state. So I don't agree with this theory that it has remained independent all along. It had a symbolic local autonomy. Of course, I do agree. It has a symbolic local authority. But Kashmir Valley has never lost its identity. It has never lost its name. It's like that. And as far as the argument of a brother that there is no credible survey, and as against then there are credible surveys that their people are for independent Kashmir, I do agree. There are survey reports that the people, predominant majority of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, including the Pakistani and Indian part, they are for independent Kashmir. You see, the surveys are not always. You can say that this is the test for this for the accuracy of a particular fact. The survey people take into account the opinion of the people whom they like, and it is their liking and disliking which makes them to conclude and form a particular opinion. It is like that. I would say my survey, you may not agree with me on the point that there was any survey in Azad Kashmir, but my assessment based on the ground reality is that in the recent election in Azad Jammu and Kashmir, the Liberation League, which was the representative of all the independence parties, and particularly the Liberation Front had argued and appealed to the people of Azad Kashmir that they should vote for the Liberation League because they are the symbol of the independent Kashmir. The Liberation League as a whole in all the constituencies of AJK, they have secured 1,852 votes only in the entire state, in the entire Azad Kashmir. So if the survey is anything, then that is the best survey because it was done peacefully under the control of the local authorities of Azad Kashmir. So this is the survey as far as today is concerned. So as far the other argument that the Kashmir, the viable solution of Kashmir is the independent Kashmir. I do agree that the ground realities are there, that the Valley of Kashmir, in the Valley of Kashmir, the people are, they cannot just make the judgment whether to go to Pakistan, whether they are, as you said, that they have their bodies, dead bodies are wrapped in the Pakistani flag and buried there. This is not the sole criteria for being for Pakistan. There are so many factors for that. But fact is that there are elements, visible elements for Pakistan. And there are visible elements for the independence as well. No element for India at all. No, nothing, no sentiment for India at all. So I think if the Valley remains independent, that will be a good solution because the Valley people have never reconciled with any ruler in the history. They have not reconciled with this Chaks, with Shamiri, with Dogra, with Sikhs. They have always remained their identity and they have always fight against them. And even if they come now in India, they are fighting against India. If they come to Pakistan, I think the history will be repeated. So the viable solution is that they let the Valley be independent, rest are settled, let them be settled like that. This is my opinion.
So Salim Nanaji, your counter argument on that?
Actually, I lost my connection. I have not heard you fully.
Let me give you the crust of the conversation that Justice Saab has alluded to. First of all, he said that the Kashmir was never independent. It was always ruled by somebody else. That was the first argument. Secondly, you heard the justification about the surveys that have been done, and the election that was held in the Liberation League was only received maybe 1,000, 2,000 votes. So what he is suggesting is that if the Valley wants to be independent, so be it. But rest of the parts of the Kashmir is considered to be as a ground reality and as a settled case. So just accept it.
Mujib Sah, this is not the criteria when you go for the voting. If you there will be a majority of the votes in favor of you, so you can be the simply you can say that you are in the majority in the thoughts of the people. As far as the national conference is concerned, till 87, they get the majority of the votes out of the elections, that so-called elections. But once sentiment was there, but for the local administration, people need some sort of the MLAs and the ministers to for the local whatever that for local administration. This is not the criteria. Once in 89 there was the elections, in parliament elections, India doesn't have the parliament member to contest here. They even get so in Srinagar there was the elections in 89. The parliament elections was held here in 89. Some of the MP was elected uncontested because nobody participated in that, and there was no elections. If the percentage you will see in the some other constituency, in the parliamentarian constituency, there was a 2% votes. If you see the Islamabad constituency, which is in India known as the Anantnag. So this is not the criteria. As far as now, if we will go the present elections, DDC elections, they get 60% votes. Does it mean that 60% people are with the India? Elections are never the criteria for, you cannot say, you cannot judge as far as the elections are concerned.
I'm running into the last few minutes. Let me ask you this. Debate on the side, but what is a doable, acceptable solution for way forward for Kashmir?
I think as far as the India and Pakistan is concerned, they are the hostile each other from last 74 years. They are the hostile. There can be a only viable solution for the India as well as the Pakistan, for we people, for the Kashmiri, entire Jammu Kashmir people.
Connection is lost.
Connection is
There can be only a independent Kashmir. There can be. Hello.
Ji.
Hello.
Go ahead. Yes, we can hear you.
That can be the feasible for the
Yeah. Go
India
ahead.
as well as Pakistan for the Kashmiri people. That can be the independent Kashmir. It can be the buffer state. You can keep the enemies away.
Okay, so
Once
let me go back to Justice Sab for the closing remarks. But what you're saying that the only doable
there will be a peace in the subcontinent if the Kashmir will be the
independent Kashmir, so that can be a buffer state between the two hostile countries. Justice Sab, your closing remarks, and we will end the show right there.
I already given you my opinion, sir, that the trouble is the Valley of Kashmir, because they don't accept any intruder. They don't accept any foreigner in the Valley of Kashmir. So let it be independent, so that everybody around it lives peacefully. I would say that I do agree with your first argument, which you guys have said, that the Pakistan economy is very fragile. I do agree. The economy is very fragile. But is a dispute which is in our neck. It has to be solved anyway, because our relations with Valley of Kashmir are tremendous. We have as good relations with the Valley of Kashmir as far as the blood relationship is concerned, as far as the soul relationship is concerned, as far as the economic relationship is concerned. We are much connected with the Valley of Kashmir than with Jammu or any place else. So similarly, there is no cohesion in the regions of the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Valley only is the problem. You see, about 1 lakh people have given their lives. Who was from Valley? Who was from other place than Valley of Kashmir? Even the recent, after 5th of August 2009, 800 some people have been killed. These were all from Valley of the Kashmir. See, 1931, 22 people were killed. They were all from the Valley of Kashmir. So Valley of Kashmir is the only place which has to be resolved. Be it the Dixon formula, be it any new formula, it will be in the interest of India and Pakistan. They should resolve it. Likewise, and accepting the ground. Okay, one thing more. That Nanaji has said that the election is no criteria. I do agree with him that election, there are two connotations of elections. First is that if the people vote in any election, does not mean accession to India or Pakistan. No, not at all. But we see it from another angle. In the Valley of the Kashmir, people have always opted for the local parties, never for Indian parties. And even the Indian parties who were having the Kashmiri face, they were given some concession. But local parties were given the concession. Always, it was the local. Even in the DDC election now, 110 seats were secured by National Conference, while 72 only were secured by BJP, and that too is the Jammu area. And I think one from the Ladakh. So it is very clear. It is very clear that the people of the Valley cannot reconcile with India at any cost. They may reconcile with Pakistan, but just for some time. They can only survive in a state of independent atmosphere.
Thank you so much. I would have to leave it right there, and it was an absolute delight to have you both on the show. Thank you very much, and until next time, take good care of yourself.
Welcome. Thank you very much. So nice of you.
Thank you.